What's up, everybody? We are back. Welcome to the Mindset Mogul podcast. We are your hosts, Josh Jacobs and Bradley Mora, and we are here to talk mindset, talk about our lives, talk about your lives, answer your questions, provide you with as much value as possible for living the life that you dream. If you are listening on Apple, Spotify, one of those, and you get value out of this episode, we would really love it if you subscribed or left us a review or commented or any of the things that you do on any of the platforms that you listen to. We really, really appreciate it, but only if you get value out of the episode. If you hated it, then you could turn away, no problem. But hopefully we give you some good stuff and you enjoy listening to us. So Brad, what's going on, brother? How are you doing, man?
What is going on? I do got to say, don't forget how we start each of these episodes now. We got to take a second here and
Look
just
at
say
this. I already forgot.
Right? How grateful we are. It's easy to forget. That's why we got to do it. This is something that we're doing at the beginning of every pod. And for me and Josh, it's stating out loud how grateful we are to be here doing this pod with each other, holding each other accountable, and having the opportunity to connect with the audience on building a community of mindset moguls. And so I'll be the first to say I am extremely grateful to be here. And then would ask the audience, pause this for 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds and take a second to think about one thing that you're extremely grateful for to get in the right energy state to listen to the show.
Man, I couldn't agree more. I am extremely grateful to be here, extremely grateful for you. As you guys can probably see, I already forgot that we're doing this gratitude practice first thing in the episode because this has been the longest I think we've gone without recording since starting because I decided to take a vacation. So sorry about that. But yeah, I think it's been 6 days, maybe even 7 days since we've recorded, maybe even 8 days since we've recorded a pod. So yeah, it feels really good to be back. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm grateful for you and texting you and calling you while I was on my trip and, keeping me accountable to getting stuff done. But yeah, I think today we're going to just talk about an accountability check-in. We're kind of figuring out our way on these pods. So we started the show just having absolutely no idea what we were doing, but knowing that we wanted to talk and share a message and document our own journeys and things like that. And over the last, I don't know, what is this, episode 29 or 30 or something like that, we've kind of figured out some of the things that we like to talk about, some of the things that the audience likes hearing from us, and we've kind of figured that we do a couple of these accountability episodes, like one a week, where we check in with each other, we check in with you guys, the audience, we tell you where we've improved, where we failed, if we're staying consistent. We do Q&As, so there's episodes where we'll have questions from you guys, the audience, and we will answer those, which, by the way, if you want to submit a question for us to answer, you can email it to support@mindsetmogul.com or leave it in a comment on the YouTube channel. We will read all of those comments, and hopefully we answer your question on here. So with that said, how's it going, Brad? How you looking consistency-wise? You being good? You sticking to your plan?
So I was mostly success this week. And then I'll talk about one failure. The successes were around food, workouts, water, everything that goes into 75 hard. I'm in the last 2 weeks and sticking to the program right now. I don't think we had a chance to talk about this on the last pod, but I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. I technically failed 75 hard because I drank an electrolyte pack that had artificial sweetener in it, which was something that I was trying to avoid in the diet that I was doing on 75 hard. So basically failed because of attention to detail in this case. And so
I'm going to pause you real quick because listen to that. For everybody listening to this, that is what accountability looks like. Accidentally using something with artificial sweetener and failing and calling yourself out on it, that's real accountability. And I just think it's incredibly important to note how much that demonstrates your integrity with your own self and just your level of discipline that you've grown into. So props for that, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate that. And I do want to basically throw out a reverse commercial here for Element, which markets itself as this extremely clean electrolyte. But in reality, there is stevia in it. And so that marketing got me. I didn't do my due diligence and I ended up drinking one and it fucked up my 75 hard. So shout out to Element, artificial sweetener. Olympians use it. Great stuff.
They paid us to say that, by the way.
Yeah, they paid us to say that. And so that actually wasn't the failure that I was talking about, but I remembered that I hadn't brought that up on the last pod and wanted to make sure that I was staying accountable to 75 hard. So in response to that, I decided that I'm going to finish 75 hard in terms of the 5 daily tasks, taking the photo, drinking the water, doing the diet, and doing the workouts. And then what am I missing? Is there a fifth one there?
Gallon of water.
And so still doing all those things. I think I have till April 7th. So I've got about 2 weeks left going through it. And so I've stayed consistent with all of those things. The one thing I went to go do this week that I'd planned for, but didn't plan well enough, was doing a day with no phone. And I got till about, I think, 1 p.m. on Sunday. And I'd forgotten that I wanted to get involved on this like social media Twitter thing. And I ended up cracking and needed to go use the phone basically because I didn't plan well enough ahead of time. I'm making sure that I had my schedule completely cleared so that I wouldn't need my phone. And so lack of preparation, lack of planning led to me not executing on something that I had planned for that Sunday. I'm definitely going to revisit doing a day with no phone because I think fasting your dopamine receptors, the phone is terrible. It gives you a constant drip of dopamine, which makes it harder to be motivated, makes your attention span decrease. I think spending a day without it will be a huge benefit to me. And so revisiting on how to do that right in the next couple of weeks.
I'm going to do that with you the next time you do it, as long as it lines up. Because now that I'm done traveling for a little bit, I definitely have the ability to put my phone down. So I'm going to do that with you because I think it's super important. What about, have you been meditating still?
That was the thing that I did a really great job with this week. I was consistent.
Nice.
Since we last talked, I've meditated every day. Been doing different forms of it. The easiest one is I have the Waking Up app. That's Sam Harris. He makes it easy. He's got a daily meditation that you just follow along with. And so I'll do that as a baseline. And then I've also been incorporating some morning gratitude, priming, visualization practices. So I'll do like 10 minutes of waking up, and then I'll do 10 minutes of, essentially it's like a Tony Robbins priming, but it's like a gratitude, energy, and then parlay that into visualization. And I'll tell you what, I feel absolutely jazzed after it. So stuff works. Mind's definitely clear. There's a sense of like calm and clarity that comes with doing this consistently. So I'm definitely keeping with it.
And that is the best feeling. Clarity is the best feeling. It really is. For those of you that have had clarity in the past or have clarity now, you know exactly what we're saying right now. Having clarity on what you want in life, it's one of the most non-talked about things that is so important. So I'm glad that you're doing that. That's awesome. I'm about to get on the meditation grind as well over these next 50 days. So yeah, anything else that's been going on in your neck of the woods?
No, I keep it pretty simple right now until I finish out 75 hard. That's when the real work begins, because I don't have a predetermined program telling me what to do.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about the last week for me. Man, traveling is very difficult. Very, very difficult, especially when you go somewhere like Miami for your birthday with a bunch of people.
Tough times for Josh Jacobs going to Miami.
I mean, no, I actually was going to say that at the beginning of this episode. Like, I've had such an amazing trip the last 6 days. I'm incredibly grateful to be able to do this type of stuff. And I don't take a second for granted, because I remember when I was younger, literally dreaming about taking the type of trip that I just took. And I just I got emotional on the trip every day, just waking up in the morning and thinking about that and reflecting on that and doing my gratitude practice. So obviously I had an amazing time, but it really is the true test when you are traveling. And especially, it was my birthday. So long story short, I failed on food because everywhere I went out to dinner, just people kept bringing me desserts, and my friends that I went out to dinner with kept ordering, it's his birthday, just bringing me so many things. And that was very, very difficult. So I definitely ate some sweets, which was amazing because I haven't had dessert like that in so long, but it was really, really good. And I drank, but I wasn't trying to not drink. I did not get drunk at all, which was a win because I've never once been to Miami and not gotten drunk. So that was a win, but I still definitely drank. On a positive note, I did my gratitude practice every day. I read every single day. I went on a run every single morning when I woke up, even if I had been out until 5 a.m. the night before, like I had been 2 nights. And it felt amazing. Like it felt like, I don't know what it is, even lacking sleep and, feeling a little crappy when I woke up, forcing yourself to get out there. Number one, it's a lot easier in the sun in Florida than it is when it's 20 degrees and cloudy and raining here. But man, it's just like the best way to start your day. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I think we have, but getting up and starting the day by going outside into the sunlight, or even if it's not sun, but just light, it's like I notice such a big difference in my day when I start my day doing that versus not doing that. And it just is a reminder to myself, basically, and I'm saying it to anybody else who wants to take this advice, is every single morning when I wake up, I need to go straight outside for at least a walk or preferably a run. Otherwise, my day will not be as good as if I did that. So just a big lesson I've learned for myself over doing that for literally 2 years now.
Quick thing on that. What you're doing is a science-backed approach to having improved mood and clarity for the entire day. The sunlight piece of things, if anyone who's listening subscribes to Andrew Huberman. Yeah, he's a big proponent of this, but your circadian rhythms are heavily dictated by the amount of sunlight that you get during specific times of the day. It's absolutely critical in the morning hours that you get sunlight that is it's a certain plane on the horizon. Like there's certain wavelengths that come through that are early morning sunlight wavelengths that tell your body that this is the morning. So that your body now, like the clock is set. And also, so that'll help you sleep better at the end of the night. And then also gives you like an increased sense of alertness all day because you got that light at the proper time. And so like even activity aside, you timing your light on your eyes actually has to hit your eyeballs, which is why you can't just like look out of a window.
Stop wearing sunglasses in the mornings.
Yeah, you should. No sunglasses. It can't be out of a window because the window catches the photons. You need to go outside and actually get light photons of a certain wavelength on your eyes. And then that is what causes your body clock to be in rhythm for the rest of the day. So what you're doing is a practice that everybody should be doing and you should never stop.
Yeah, no, I agree. So a couple things. One, now that I'm back and I don't have a trip planned until I'm going away on my belated honeymoon, which that will definitely be a test, I am creating a new program that I just want to announce because I want to stay accountable to you and the pod. Just for myself, like you just said, Brad, I think this is something too that's interesting. Every time that I've finished 75 hard, it's been very difficult for me to find a routine that works because I work very well in challenges. I work very well in a specific time frame of doing things. And I know we've talked about this a little bit before. So I created a new basically challenge, for whatever you want to call it, program, I guess is the better word, for myself for the next 50 days until I go on my belated honeymoon. And on our accountability episodes, I'll be checking in with you about it. And basically, it's essentially 75 hard, but it's not because I'm not doing 75 hard, but it's essentially 75 hard. So 2 workouts a day. One of them is outdoor cardio or outdoor. Drink a gallon of water a day, read 10 pages a day, 5 minutes of meditation a day, 5 minutes of stretching a day. And by the way, the reason I chose 5 minutes of meditation and 5 minutes of stretching, a lot of people may not think that's sufficient, but I'm terrible at both of those things. And the one thing that we always talk about is building small wins with yourself and building habits. And those habits are what will further you along in those processes. So for me to commit to just 5, to be totally honest with you, if I have trouble committing at 5 minutes, I'm going to do 2 minutes. I will break it down to as manageable of a number as I can until I do it every single day for 30 days consistently. And at that point, I will have the confidence and the habit built. And I'm sure that some days I'll go 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever the case may be. But as long as I have that baseline of 5 minutes every single day, that's super important to me. So I'm going to do all those things. I have a lot on here for content with you and the pod. And basically, I'm going to try to be an absolute animal over the next 50 days. And just be the most productive I've ever been in my entire life. So I'd be interested to, I know you still got a week or two, but I'd be interested to hear like if you're planning on creating some sort of program for yourself with, because like I said, the biggest thing for me is having a time frame. I know that I'm going to do it every single day until May 20th, and then I'll figure something else out for when I get back. But I'd be curious just to hear your thoughts on like, what comes next, I guess.
100%. So we're calling what you're doing the honeymoon 50. So
I love that.
Yeah. It's a new mindset mogul program, the honeymoon 50. Watch out, 75 hard. This is the new standard. So I'm in the process of formulating the plan, but the reality is right now I've got more momentum in my entire life than I ever have, and I'm fucking addicted. And in the same spirit of what you just said is like, I am ready to just continue to take things to the next level, both mentally, physically, daily practices, which I feel like I have very dialed in, but the longer you do those things, the better. So no stopping there. But how can I take my own productivity and impact on the world, my ability to shape the events happening around me in a way that I want them to? I want to optimize myself for that. And so aside from the physical aspect of things, the next phase I want to do is very mentally focused. How can I optimize to be in like the best mental state all day for crushing? Really, it's all focused on this, on building mindset mogul. So in order to do that, the things I'm going to be optimizing for are like building focus for longer periods of time. And I think what goes into that is I'm going to get into the keto diet purely for the sake of the mental clarity that it brings. And we can dive into the benefits of that on a different episode. And then also timing my activity and food to like optimal work periods during the day. So like doing 20 minutes of cardio, then taking nootropics and then working for like 4 hours, huge recipe for success. And so building a program around timing, activity, really lack of food, and then focus periods where there's no phone, there's like Slack notifications are off, and doing deep work, figuring out how to commit to that on a daily basis so that I turn up-leveled focus into a habit.
I love that. We're going to be doing keto together because part of the honeymoon 50 for me is doing keto and fasting, including extended fasts, which I'm very excited
Extended
about.
fasts are the best way to get mental clarity. People hear that and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm so hungry, I can't think. And contrary to popular belief, that lasts for a little while, but then after that, you become the smartest version of yourself.
You feel superhuman.
You're superhuman. I'm pretty sure Socrates said that before he ever did any deep thinking, he would fast for 2 days.
Really?
So be like Socrates. And
I'm telling you, like I started doing it, I don't know, in December maybe, and doing like between 36-hour and 72-hour fasts. And man, you wake up like if you go to sleep and you wake up fasted 36 hours, you feel like a superhuman. Like if you go run, I've done a fasted run, 36 hours fasted. It was like I think it was my best run I've ever done in my life. And then I ate, and the next day my run pace was, I think one was like 8-minute 30, which for me is super fast. And the next day after eating, it was like 9:50. Huge difference. But yeah, I think both of us are going to be evolving in our programs and our plans throughout the whole year, because that's the goal, right? We always want to be evolving. So we're going to take you along for the ride with us, and you as the audience member can pick up anything you want and join us along for, our own programs and make your own out of it. So I don't know. I like these accountability check-ins just to kind of, shoot the shit for a little while and let the audience know what we're doing, and that obviously no one's perfect, and that all you got to do is strive to be better every day. And that's what you got to do to get towards your goals and dreams. So anything else you want to add for this episode today, Brad?
No, I thought this was a good one. And I think we should definitely keep doing these. If you don't like it, skip to the next episode and we'll definitely talk about more tactical mindset focused things, but would love to have you along with the ride on our own personal journeys.
Yeah. Especially when one day we get to one of us gets to really call the other out. One of us just does something so bad and we're like, what the hell is wrong with you? I can't wait for that moment.
Lock it up.
I hope you're the one that calls me out on that, because I don't want to have to do it to you, but
it's not going to be me.
No, I know. All right, cool. Well, if you guys enjoyed, please give us a review Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching there. Leave a comment. You know, all those things. We really, really appreciate it. That's how the show is going to grow. That's how our community is going to grow. If you have a question for us, email it into support@mindsetmogul.com or leave us a comment on our YouTube. And I'm looking forward to keeping this going. And it's been awesome to get the feedback so far. And I'm super excited for everything that's to come. So thank you all very much. Brad, thank you. And we will see you in the next one.